Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, Hare Krishna. So, today is a very special day as per our Vaishnava calendar. So, what we see, so we have lot many appearance days, one disappearance day. Also, today is the appearance day of Radha Raman Dev, and also it is a Buddha Purnima. So, time doesn't allow to go in depth. So, we'll just speak some outlines related to each pastimes. So, today the first pastime is Lord Krishna's, it is called Full Dole. So, usually here in Vrindavan, we do this festival after Gaur Purnima. This is called post Gaur Purnima festival. So, during that period, we do boat festival in our temple courtyard. So, as per the scripture, today is the time which is it is mentioned as Krishna Full Dole or Shalir Vihar, or also it is called Nauka Vihar, Jal Vihar. Also, it is named as Jhulan Vihar. So, Raghunath Das Goswami has written one nice book called Dan Keli Kaumudi. So, in that he has mentioned lot many nice pastimes of Lord Krishna doing his boating pastimes, especially in Mansi, Ganga and Yamuna. So, Raghunath Das Goswami explains one nice pastime which took place at Mansi Ganga. So, during Krishna's time, Mansi Ganga was 2 yojanas, as good as 16 miles. It is mentioned during Krishna's time it was so big, and the waves of Mansi Ganga, so that used to hit the Govardhan, and from that the Govardhan Shilas, they used to become like Shaligram, round. So in one pastime, Raghunath Das Goswami explains, so one time Radharani, Lalita, Vishaka, all the gopis, they were in a hurry and they wanted to cross Mansi Ganga because it was one and a yojana, 8 miles in length. They wanted to go other side of Govardhan. So because it is mentioned that that time Bhaguri Muni, who was doing a yajna, and they wanted to take ghee, butter, other things in a hurry. So when they came early morning, so what they found, there is no boatman, no boat, but they found there is one old boat, but the boatman is sleeping. So now all of you know who can be this. So they came, very few gopis were there, and they told boatman, come on, get up. So we are in a hurry and we take us the other side of Mansi Ganga. So we have to carry this for the yajna. But Krishna, in a different voice, he said, no, I am very much tired and I have no energy. Maybe you can look for another boatman. So, but they said, no, there is no other boatman, only you are the way out. So then he said, no, I am very much tired, I am having a headache, my legs, hands, they are paining. So they said, okay, we will massage you. So then still Krishna was not showing his real face. So then the gopis, they massaged. Then he said, okay, now I am somewhat okay. So but I am hungry. Without pacifying my belly, I can't row the boat. So now the gopis were thinking what to feed this fellow. So he said, okay, you have butter, other things, milk, curd, can give me some little part of that. So Krishna ate that. So then he told, see, I'll take you across, but my old boat, I can't guarantee you, anytime the water can seep in. So the gopi said, okay, no problem, let's see. So this way what happened, Krishna, he took them in the middle of the Mansi Ganga, and all of a sudden the water started coming from the bottom. And he told, I had told you before, anything can happen. So that time Krishna, he told them, see, the best way is to save our life is to reduce the weight of the ship, this boat. So what you can do, you can overthrow all your big pots containing butter, ghee, milk, other things. So the gopis, they were in a big dilemma what to do. So ultimately they had to throw. Then after some time, still the water was coming in, they were trying to take out, somehow it was not happening. So now Krishna, he told, okay, still the water is coming, So you are wearing so many jewelries, 2 to 5 kilo jewelries. So better if you take out your jewelries, then again the weight will come down. So still we can save ourselves. So the gopis, they took out the jewelries. So this way it was going on. So a time came, now Krishna, he told, you are wearing so many cloths. So your outer garments, they are very heavy. Maybe you have to take out your outer garments. So at this time they could understand this guy only can be Krishna. So then they said, no, we will not take out our garments, we will throw you overboard. So Krishna could understand there is no other way out. So what we see, Krishna used to do lot many pastimes, but before what he was doing, the gopis, they didn't recognize. So this is a very long pastime. So today, many places, this pastime is done in some temples. Then we have Lord Buddha, what we see today, Radha Raman Dev's Appearance Day. So all of you know, recently we celebrated this Gopal Bhatt Goswami's Appearance Day. So basically Radha Raman, he appeared from Shaligram, and we know that there are 64 varieties in Shaligram. And to get a real Shaligram, nowadays what you get in the market, they are factory made, they are not real Shaligrams. So it is mentioned in the scripture, if you want to get a real Shaligram, so you have to go to Gandaki river, and where from the river originates, that place is called Damodar Kund. It is in Tibet, today's world, it is in Tibet, not so near, far away. And there the temperature is always 0 degree. It is not minus nor plus, 365 days. So one time, just a few years back, one devotee was telling, actually he's from Himachal Pradesh. 3 generations ago, what happened? So his forefathers, they wanted to get a real Shaligram, and it is mentioned in the scripture that to get a real Shaligram, you have to go to this Damodar Kund with a living Tulsi plant. And when you keep that Tulsi plant there, the Shaligrams, they jump from that pond at the base of Tulsi Maharani. So that is the real identification. In material world, we have so many things for identifying real thing. But this is a real thing mentioned in the scripture. So they attempted twice, but somehow the Tulsi, that plant left the body. And third time, somehow they carried a living Tulsi. They were successful. And the moment they kept the Tulsi Maharani there, immediately 2 Shaligrams, they jumped from the kund, they came up and they sat beside Tulsi Maharani. So this way they got, somehow because their desire was intense desire, they got. And like during my tours, I go to Maharashtra, Goa, many places. So there is one place at Maharashtra, it's called Raver. So one time one Mataji, she got a dream, and the Lord told her in the dream, so I am at your courtyard underneath a coconut tree, myself and my brothers. Why don't you retrieve us and keep in your home? So she was amazed, and she bought, and this time when she got these shilas, they were just 50 grams. This was like 7 years back. So she was worshipping them nicely. She's doing. So now they have grown to the size of 2 kilo. They are growing. It is amazing. Many people, they don't believe. But these Shaligrams, they give her some often time dream, what they are going to do, what Leela. So this year what happened? They went on a pilgrimage. They went to Badrinath, and they told her in a dream that now we are in Badrinath, and after that we will be going to Kumbh Mela at Ujjain, and after that Kumbh Mela will come back, and to her surprise they are back at home. So there are many other pastimes being performed by these 2 Shaligrams. So what we see today in material world, people, they don't know much significance, but today in one sense people worship Shaligram only for money, but that should not be the real thing. But what we see, by just taking the darshan of Radha Raman, our Acaryas, they mention, we get the darshan of all the 3 principal deities, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Govindji and Radha Gopinath. So these are our three principal deities in our Sampradaya: Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojan. So it is mentioned that when you take the darshan of Radha Raman, when you take the lotus feet darshan, so that is equivalent to taking darshan of Madan Mohan. So when you take the darshan of his complete chest and arms, so that is equivalent to taking darshan of Gopinath. And when you take the darshan of the face, so it is equivalent to taking the darshan of Govindji. So it is mentioned that when Aurangzeb, he attacked Vrindavan in the year 1669, so that time all these three deities, principal deities, they were taken out of Vrindavan. And that time it is mentioned that because Radharaman was a small deities, so they didn't take Radharaman out of Vrindavan. So they put Radharaman in a pond someplace, hiding underwater. So after some time the things were normal. Then again they started worshipping Radharaman. So today is a very auspicious day, being the appearance day of Radharaman. And we say that Lord is Bhavagrahi Janardhan. So because it is mentioned that yesterday being the day of Narsinghdev's appearance day, so what happened, one pilgrim, one fellow, he was visiting Vrindavan and he was very rich. So he was donating lot many jewelries and silk cloths to other temples. And when he saw that Gopal Bhatt Goswami has about 12 shilas, so he gave Gopal Bhatt Goswami few ornaments and some cloth. So that time what happened, it is mentioned that Gopal Bhatt Goswami was contemplating. Like today, Narsingdev appeared from the pillar. So also we see in the pastime of Narsingdev, so when Hiranyakashipu, he challenged Prahlad, is your Lord in that pillar? Because he wanted to smash that pillar. And just to what we see, when Prahlad, he said, yes, the Lord is there. And when Hiranyakashipu, he hit the pillar, to his surprise, the Lord really manifested in a real body. So here what we see, actually Gopal Bhatt Goswami had an intense desire to worship the Lord in his real form, Tribhanga form. So just to reciprocate with him, the Lord, this day he manifested, so in this form. So now also we have today Buddha Purnima, today being Vaishak Purnima. So the Bhagavatam mentions Buddha is a ninth incarnation of the Lord. So in a nice poem, Jayadev Goswami, he mentions, Nindasi yagya vidher ahasya shuti jatam sadaya hridayam darashati pashughatam keshavadhrita buddha sharira jaya jagadisha hare. It is mentioned that the Lord, when he saw that people, they are killing so many animals just by taking the excuse of scriptures. So being compassionate, the Lord, he manifested 2000 years back just to stop this animal killing. So it is mentioned that 2000 years back, people, according to Karma Kand, what they were doing lot many animal sacrifices without discrimination. So it is mentioned that during that period of time, according to time, place, circumstances, it is mentioned that Buddha, he took birth at Lumbini. At present day it is in Bihar, one place. So Prabhupada quotes that Lord Buddha abandoned the authority of Vedic literatures and therefore rejected the ritualistic ceremonies and sacrifices recommended in the Vedas. So his Nirvana philosophy, we should be a little careful about this Nirvana philosophy. So what Prabhupada writes, his Nirvana philosophy means stopping all material activities. Lord Buddha did not recognize the presence of transcendental form and spiritual activities beyond the material world. Buddha decried killing animals and he wanted to stop completely the killing of animals. And he said that I do not believe in Vedas if they recommend killing of animals. So what happened? This Bauddha Dharma, it is mentioned that during that period of time, from India, this religion, it spread throughout the world. even to this day, if you go to Indonesia, Jakarta, Malaysia, even China, Japan, all these countries, Far East, so they have this Buddhist, even in Nepal, what we see, still people, they are followers of Buddha, but unfortunately, presently, the people, they are not much discriminating. They don't know the purpose of Lord Buddha's descent. So, Buddha, he preached that Nirvana means just to get into a voidism. It is mentioned that Nirvana means there is nothing ultimately in the end. So in Bible, especially in Christianity, those who don't believe in Christianity or those who don't believe in Jesus, so they call such people as heathens. Also in the Muslim, in Quran it is mentioned that those who don't believe in Allah, they are called kafirs. So but they have their own philosophy. So this is one kind of voidism. Voidism is there is no form for the Lord. So but this philosophy was valid only during that period of time. So later on what we see, Shankaracharya came, and after that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. So also today is the appearance day of Madhavendra Puri. And what we see, Prabhupada writes that Madhavendra Puri is the first person who initiated in our Sampradaya the Radha Krishna, this thing, worshipping of Radha Krishna pastime. So one Gaudiya Vaishnava, he has written, his name is Devakinandan Das. He explains that the Lord's associates, they are so much powerful. He explains, Brahmanda Tarite Shakti Dhare Jane Jane. So Madhavendra Puri was, in one sense, he was so highly elevated. So among the sannyasis, there are four categories. So the topmost is called Paramahansa. Paramahansa means they don't go door to door. They don't do madhukuri. So they are just content on what the Lord will supply for the day. So in Bhagavad-Gita, Lord Krishna explains, Ananas Chintayanto Mam. So those who are completely dependent on the Lord, for them the Lord himself he supplies. And in scriptures there are many stories. And in case of Madhavendra Puri, what we see, Madhavendra Puri, when he came to Vrindavan, it is mentioned that he went around the 12 forests. So after visiting the 12 forests, he went to Govardhan. And while doing parikrama of Govardhan, he came to Govindakund. So it was getting evening, and he thought of taking just a break. Jai Sisi Gaurnita, Krishna Balram, Radha Sham Sundar Lalita Vishakha Ki. So Madhavendra Puri was sitting there, and all of a sudden Krishna, he came in the form of a covered boy. And Madhavendra Puri, he told, please take this milk. This is being sent by the woman who came for taking water at this place. And Krishna told Madhavendra Puri, in our village no one fasts, so you better drink this milk. So he told, I'll collect the pot later on. So what we see, we can learn from Madhavendra Puri's pastime, that also in Bhagavad-Gita 10.10, Krishna explains that that Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam. So especially Krishna, what he does, he takes service only from his pure exclusive devotees. So when Madhavendra Puri, he came to Vrindavan, and during that period of time, it is mentioned that 5,000 years back, the deities which were carved by Vajranab, Gopal, that same deities were somewhere nearby. And Krishna, he gave that morning a dream to Madhavendra Puri, that same boy, Gopal, who gave milk. So he came and he took Madhavendra Puri in the bushes, and he told that, see, Vajranab, he installed me 5,000 years back, and recently when the Muslim invaded this place, so my pujaris fearing, say they put me in the bush and they ran away. So I am here now in the bush since a long time. What you do? Take me out, please install me on the Govardhan, and I am very much hungry, and you feed me. Also you can bathe me. So Madhavendra Puri, he was in real ecstasy. he went and he told the villagers. And this is a long pastime. And what we see, Madhavendra Puri, he installed Gopalji. And later on what we see, when Madhavendra Puri, Gopalji, he sent Madhavendra Puri to get Chandan to Malay Hills, Jagannath Puri. So before going there, he was going through a village in Odisha. There is one place called Balasore. There is one small village, Remuna. So one day there, he thought of taking evening break there. And what he saw, that the pujaris they are offering very nice condensed milk to the deities there, Gopinath. And Madhavendra Puri, he saw it is really first class, and somehow he got the aroma. And in the mind he was thinking, maybe I should make such a kheer for my Gopal. So, but he felt okay, before the Lord is accepting, so I am trying to enjoy. So he felt little condemned, so he went away from there. And that day what happened, this Gopinath, he stole one pot and he told the pujari, my devotee is there in the marketplace, please go and give this kheer. So this way what happened, that fellow, he bought the kheer and he gave it to Madhavendra Puri. And presently if you go to this Remuna, now presently he is called Kheer Chor. He got one extra tight name, Kheer Chor Gopinath. So here what we see, again the Lord, he can reciprocate in the way the devotee likes, and he is ready to do anything for his devotees. So Madhavendra Puri, what we, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains that Madhavendra Puri, he explains, Prithvite Ropana Kari Gela Pramukhra Sai Prema Ankura Vriksha Chaitanya Thakur. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains that Madhavendra Puri sowed the seed of aesthetic love for Krishna within this material world, which would then he departed. That seed later on became a great tree in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Prabhupada explains, beginning of this Madhu Sampradaya until Lakshmi, this Lakshmipati Tirtha. So Madhavendra Puri was disciple of Lakshmipati Tirtha. So they were worshipping only Krishna. But after Madhavendra Puri, what we see, Prabhupada explains, he introduced the conception of conjugal love for the first time in the Madhu Sampradaya. And this conclusion of Madhu Sampradaya was revealed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what we see later on, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he brought this concept into reality. So also what we see, Madhavendra Puri oftentimes used to sing one verse. So this verse actually it was composed by Radharani. Actually Jiva Goswami, he writes in Gopal Champu. So when Lord Krishna, he left Vrindavan, so Radharani was in an utter dilemma. She got really mad and she was just looking for Krishna everywhere. So this way what happened, one day she came to Govardhan at Mansi Ganga. So Radharani was in such a separation from the Lord. So it is mentioned that there is a Agni called Viraha Agni. So there are different Agnis. So at 9 o'clock there will be one Agni in our stomach. It is called Jatra Agni. So when we become angry, there is another Agni. So this Viraha Agni, it is felt by devotees of the Lord. And Radharani was feeling so much separation from Lord Krishna. She was totally in madness. So when she came to Mansi Ganga, it is mentioned that because of her bodily heat, so all the water of Mansi Ganga dried. It became a small puddle. And when she came on the top of Govardhan hill, seeing her sadness, it is mentioned that during that period of time, Govardhan hill was 2 miles tall. Actually, Govardhan, when he came to this material world in Satyuga, he was 2 yojanas, 16 miles. But during Krishna's pastime, he was just 2 miles. But it is mentioned that Govardhan, seeing Radharani's sadness, so he completely shrank into the earth. Just he remained 100 hands. So present day, what we see, Govardhan, the topmost height of Govardhan is just 70 feet. So Madhavendra Puri oftentimes this one verse is quoted by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So he used to recite this verse often. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to recite this verse. Ai Deena Dayardar Natha he Mathura Natha Kada Avalokshaye Hridayam Tom Alokam Katram Daitam Brahmayati Kim Karomyaham. So this verse is composed by Radharani. So, O my Lord, O merciful Master, O Master of Mathura, when shall I see you again? Because of my not seeing you, my agitated heart has become unsteady. O most beloved one, what shall I do now? So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains that uttering this verse during his last days, Madhavendra Puri, so he used to just say Mathurana Painu, Mathurana Painu, and reciting this verse he left his body. So this is a very nice verse. Then we have today again Srinivasa Acarya, his appearance day. So today being Vaishak Purnima, so in the year 1530, so it is mentioned in the village of Chakhandi. So there was one Brahmana, his name was Gangadhar Bhattacharya. So Gangadhar Bhattacharya, it is mentioned in Bhakti Ratnakar. So he was a very elevated devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he ended this material world, pastimes, so it is mentioned that, so he was feeling so much separation from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So no, actually when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, so he was feeling very much anxiety, he was feeling very sad. So he got utterly mad and he used to chant Ha Chaitanya, like that. And later on his name became as Chaitanya Das. So he was living in Navdeep. So one day all of a sudden it is mentioned that, so a thought came to his heart and he felt that maybe he should have a son. And he told his wife that a thought has come to my heart, maybe we can have one son. So his wife Lakshmi Priya, what she told, so better if we take a blessing from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that time it is mentioned that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was living at Jagannath Puri. So all the way they came walking from Navdeep to Jagannath Puri. And when he came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being a Trikal-darshi, he could understand his desire. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he told, yes, your desire will be fulfilled. So you will have a son and you name him Srinivasa. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he told this, so all other devotees at that time, those who were living with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, especially Govinda and Ramanand Rai, they were little speculating what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what prediction he has given. So actually in Bhakti Ratnakar it is mentioned that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, again he called Govinda and he told in a deep voice, yes, this the son of this Chaitanya Das, his name will be Srinivasa, and through him I'll distribute all the literatures, and this way I'll be giving the pure devotional service to the people in the material world. So later on it is mentioned that when he grew up to the age of 5, so he studied under Dhananjaya Vidya Vachaspati. So it is mentioned that Srinivasa, he learnt under Vidya Vachaspati. So this way he grew there, and what happened? So one time he came to know that somehow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is going to end his earthly pastimes. So he thought he had a great intense desire to have a darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ends his earthly pastime. So he started coming, he took his permission from his mother, and he was coming to Jagannath Puri for Rath Yatra along with all the devotees. But what happened, unfortunately, before his coming to Jagannath Puri, so he came to know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left his body. Left his body means he ended the earthly pastimes. So he was in very much anxiety and he wanted to leave his body. But Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, they came in his dream and they told, no, you don't do such kind of thing. You come to Jagannath Puri, we'll give you darshan, and later on you will get the association of other devotees. So this way it is mentioned that Srinivasa, he came to Jagannath Puri, and after coming to Jagannath Puri, there he was living for some time. So it is mentioned that Gadadhar Pandit, he taught him complete Srimad Bhagavatam. So under the care of Gadadhar Pandit, it is mentioned that Srinivasa Acarya, he studied the Srimad Bhagavatam. So after some time, his mother, she had an intense desire that Srinivasa should get married. So again he had to go to his place, Chakhandi. So he went back to his place. So when he was going back and when he came back to his village, so again he got another bad news that Advaita Acharya, Nityanand Prabhu, they left this material world. So again he was in a dilemma. Again he thought of making a suicide. So they came in the dream. They said, no, don't do. So you have to do a big service for the Vaishnavas. Don't do this kind of thing. So somehow he got pacified. Then later on it is mentioned that he was married. So after his marriage, it is mentioned that so he was living at Chakhandi for some time. And later on it is mentioned that again Lord Chaitanya, he came in his dream and he told him that now you go to Vrindavan and under the care of Jiva Goswami, you can study all the Gaudiya Vaishnava literatures. So it is mentioned that there are three Vaishnava Acharyas. We have Narottam Das Thakur, Shyamanand Prabhu and Srinivasa Acharya. So they studied under Jiva Goswami, and a time came, actually Jiva Goswami, he wanted them to take all the Vaishnava literatures to Odisha and Bengal, other places for preaching purpose. So it is mentioned that when they were about to go from Vrindavan, so they loaded all these books in a cart, bullock cart, and under a good security they were going from here. And while they were going from here, somehow they crossed Jharkhand, and when they came to Odisha, so there at one place called Van Vishnupur, there was one dacoit king. And he was such a dacoit that he used to kill all the pilgrims without any discrimination. So one time he got a news that a bullock cart with 3 sadhus, it is coming, and he had one astrologer. So that fellow used to give him the right information. So now this king Bhirambir, so when he heard that there are these sadhus, he told his dacoit friends, so don't kill them, you somehow try to retrieve that bullock cart. So all these Vaishnava Acharyas, they were tired and they were in deep sleep. So what happened? During their sleep, these dacoits, they came and they took that bullock cart and they came to the king Bhirambir, and when he opened the bullock cart, so to his surprise there were all the literatures. So what happened? He called his astrologer. He said, what is this? There are only books in this and they are of no use for me. What I should do now? So later on it is mentioned that so he was feeling little guilty, that king. So here when Srinivasa Acharya, then Narottam and Shyamanand, when they found that their books, they were stolen, they were in very much anxiety. So somehow it is mentioned that Srinivas, he came to know that these books are under this king, and he thought of going and preaching to this king. And it is mentioned that this king had a liking for hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Although he was a dacoit, so he had a liking for hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So he went to the court of this king, and this way Srinivasa Acharya, he was reciting for 1 week. When he recited this Srimad Bhagavatam, the king was in utter bliss. Somehow he got this Shuddha Vikar. And one day Srinivasa Acharya, he told him that, see, the books what you have bought, they are of no use for you. Why don't you give us those books? So it is mentioned that this king, because he had no value for those books. So later on this king was initiated by Srinivasa Acharya. His name became Chaitanya Das. And it is mentioned that this king was such a terror. So all his state became a Vaishnava state. All his this subject, So all, even his dacoit friends, they also became Vaishnavas. So later on it is mentioned that Srinivasa Acharya, he went to Kheturi. It is mentioned there that there Narottam Das Thakur, he was doing the first Gaur Purnima. So we should know that time he was installing 6 sets of deities. So that time Jhanava Mata was the leader of Vaishnavas, and along with her it is mentioned that Srinivasa Acharya also went there, and there that was a big grand ceremony. It is mentioned that Srinivasa Acharya, he went there, and this was the grandest ceremony. And also it is mentioned that when the kirtan was done there by Srinivasa Acharya and Narottam Das Thakur, so it is mentioned that all the Panchatattvas, so they manifested. Only some pure devotees they could see. So later on what we see, then Srinivasa Acharya, he has many places. He preached in Orissa and Bengal. So also we have today the disappearance day of Parameshvari Thakur. So he has another name. His another name is Parameshwar Thakur. So Krishna has Dwadash Gopal. What we see, Krishna also has these 12 cowherd boys. Even Balramji also has these 12 cowherd boys. And same cowherd boys, they took again part in Lord Chaitanya's Leela. And this Parameshwari Thakur, so he is Arjun Saka in Krishna Leela. So his Samadhi is in 64 Sant Samadhi in near Govinji temple. So it is mentioned that in one scripture, Vaishnava Vandana, that Parameshwari Thakur, he was a very miraculous devotee. He was such a pure devotee. So Nityananda Prabhu, he was like a heart and soul of Nityananda Prabhu. In Chaitanya Bhagavad it is mentioned. So he was always staying with Nityananda Prabhu. So it is mentioned that one time in one village, what happened, one place is called Semapur in West Bengal. So it is mentioned that Parameshwari Thakur and his all colleagues, they were doing a big kirtan, Harinam kirtan they were doing. And when this kirtan was going on, so all the atheistic people, they were trying to do something mischief. So what they did, they killed one jackal, and from a long distance they threw that jackal in front of this kirtan party. So it is mentioned that his chanting was so pure of Parameshwari Thakur. So the dead jackal, although it was killed, it was dead, it came to life. And the jackal also started howling, and it also started doing kirtan. So this was it is mentioned that this was the purity of Parameshwari Thakur. And those people, those who did this, and they were watching from a long distance and fearing that they will get a severe reaction, and they came and surrendered to Parameshwari Thakur. So what we see, like these 12 Sakhas, their names, they are mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So the Krishna's 12 Sakhas, they took part in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime. So first what we spoke today, now his name is Arjun Saka. So he was Parameshwari Thakur. Then we have 11 Sakhas. We'll just for our memory. So second is Sridhama Saka. He is Abhiram Gopal Thakur. So all of you know Abhiram Gopal Thakur, he had one whip, Chabuk, so which could give a pure love of God. He is also very famous. So then there is another Saka called Sudama. He is not Sudama who went to Dwarka. No, he is a different Saka. So Sundarananda, there was one Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associate. His name was Sundaranand. He was Sudama Saka. Then fourth is Mahabala Saka. He was Kamalakant Pippalani. Then we have Subal Saka. So in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, anyone knows what was his name? Gauridas Pandit. So Gauridas Pandit also, so many pastimes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime. So then Vasudhama Saka. there was one Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associate, his name was Dhananjay Pandit. So Dhananjay Pandit is called Vasudham Saka. Then Mahabhavu Saka, he was Mahesh Pandit. Then Stoka Krishna, he was Purushottam Das. Then there was one Lavanga Sakha, he was Kala Krishna Das. So all of you know Kala Krishna Das, he went with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to South India tour. So then later on there was one more Sakha, his name was Dam Sakha. So he was Purushottam Nagar. Then 11th was Subhavu Sakha, he was Uddharana Thakur. So Prabhupada also, he comes from this family, Uddharana Datta Thakur. So they are basically Vanik family. They are means like goldsmith. So once upon a time they were also Brahmins. But there was one king in Bengal. Because he was not getting much money from them. So he made them into like Shudras. Actually they were initially Brahmanas. But there was one king. So because he was not getting his sense gratification. So he said them, today onwards you will be low caste. But he was his name was Uddharana Datta Thakur, and there is a big lineage now also coming from that family. Now also if we go to Calcutta, this village is there. Later on Raghunath Das Goswami also, his pastime places are there. Then the 12th Sakha was Kusuma Sava Sakha. So Kolve Sridhar. So Kolve Sridhar, all of you know, he was very much loved by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to argue with him like 1 or 2 hours. Now can you imagine just arguing for 2 hours just for some banana leaf or banana plates? So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains that Parameshvari Das, he was so much loved by Nityananda Prabhu. So it is mentioned that he was heart and soul, and he was always helping Nityananda Prabhu in his pastimes. So also it is mentioned regarding Srinivasa Acarya, that Srinivasa Acarya, when Janava Matasi came to Vrindavan, so he escorted her. It is mentioned that Janava Matasi bought the deities of Radharani for Govinda Dev. So that time he also came with her to Vrindavan. Sulusi Radha Raman Dev Bhagwan ki, Jai Sri Madhavendra Puri ki, Sulusi Srinivasa Acharya ki, Jai Nithai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. So anyone has any comment, question regarding today's class? Mike, you can take the mic. No, actually in Krishna Lila he was associate of Lord Krishna, but in this pastime he was associate of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Actually Balramji also has his covered boy friends. So among them what we see in this pastime, so he took the side of Balramji. So here it is mentioned that he was associate of Nityananda Prabhu. So Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jai. Hare Krishna.